With that, you'll be able to, provide services for, startups, this mom and pop, what's it called, mom and pop stores or businesses, all these, startup businesses, these little businesses that are around you. That sometimes right now, many of them may not even have that, enough budget to pay you, but they need your service. You understand the way to, because once you start talking of 3D character, there's some level of complexity that comes with that, as when compared to motion graphics and graphics, that you're providing graphics for the person, you're also providing motion graphics for the person. Then mind you, let me quickly run you through this. This is not motion graphics, okay? Because yes, in going back, I was not like, okay, with the demonstration video that I did when I asked you people to provide a to do the assignment, the 5 things I like about Nigeria, right? I didn't provide you people with enough reference, right? So I went back, I backtracked, and I started providing you at least with one, which, and I showed you where the sites to go to like get that inverter element. Though it's a stock site where what are they called again? It's a stock site where you should be able to like buy some After Effects templates and all of that. But it's also for me, the way I use it is a tool for me to go to get reference. And I also show the Pinterest and some other places where why was I doing that? Because if you when I went back to your work, it was looking very much, what you find in the local station, like work that you find in the local station, as opposed to, because right now who you are competing with, this skill that you're learning, you are competing with international. Whereas if you are really serious, if you really want to, if this is what you want to do, you will be competing not just with people around you. If really you want to go into, you are competing with international um, brand and persons and designers. So that becomes necessary for you to. Yes, I showed you. Ah, yeah, Behance. I showed you Behance. Yes, that's a very good place to also see. Interact. You can also interact with other people, see their work, international work, like of international standard. And for me, the way I do that is that I look at all of this and I look at other people's work and also, push myself to do that. Because yes, I would like to quickly share my screen. And yes, and right now from this time, right, I will need you to redo this assignment. I think as of the last time, that's the 5 things I like about Nigeria. As of the last time I gave you, it was a little bit rushed, right? So right now, you have from now till until let's say next week Saturday. Until next week Saturday. Monday is our next class, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yes, upper Monday, not this Monday. Once this Monday comes, the other Monday is our next class. That's when we will see physically, right? So before then, I would really like you to submit on the 28th. Submit on the 28th. Like go back. I know, I think I actually gave you people, yes, they need to go back and do with using this what's it called? This tool, using Animation Composer as a tool now in your bed. You should be able to go back and do that, right? But I don't think any other person submitted. I don't think any person submitted. So now, right, you need to go back to your that 5 things I like about Nigeria. And this is the reference, this particular one that we've been doing, right? I'll need to quickly share my screen now to run you through what I'm expecting. Like, okay, it's like me, this happens a lot whenever you're working, before you become like, well, for some of you, you may go solo all through. But many times when you are hooked up with, um, when you are working for a film and animation studio, which I worked for, I think for some time. When you're working for a film and animation studio, you usually go this way. The director will give you, the creative director, many times will give you, you know, we give you reference, like give you reference of what they want. But I think sometimes, many times with your clients too, they already have, oh, I think, and yes, yes, and mind you, sometimes when they give you, maybe they have the script. Don't make this mistake of going to start animating based on your own understanding. Rather, let them be the one to ask them what are the how okay, when you were thinking of this now, have you seen any work that looks like what you want to achieve? Walk them through that process, because if not, if you don't walk them through that process, you may eventually interpret the script or the idea based on your own understanding that is different, and it may be fine. No, the work may be very fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's based on your own interpretation, how you see it, right? As different from the way they actually want, right? So reference is usually given by the creative director. If you're, yes, that's the way it comes. Or but many times they may not really have that. Sometimes they already have the reference. Oh, I want this animation to look like this. In fact, I want to do exactly. Sometimes they will tell you, I want to do exactly this particular company did. Help me to do this, right? Or sometimes it's just be they will just give the script. They may not come, but you will not be the one. Okay, you want me to do this? What other reference have you seen? What other? You need to walk them through that. So I want to share my screen now. Okay, so I need to refresh. So I want to share my screen now. Can you all see my screen? Please type see and hear if you can. Please, if you can see my screen, type see and hear. Okay, just say, wait, let me play. Okay, let me quickly play. This is from Constance Oyemechi. A very nice attempt, like a very nice attempt. And I didn't think I saw her use animation composer. This should be animation composer happening here. Let me quickly play. Can you all hear the this thing playing, the screen playing, the video playing rather? Can you all hear the video playing? I just did. Okay, okay. Please, I need more than one person. It's just Joy that said she can hear.
The five.
Please, can you hear? If you can hear. Okay. Okay, this is the example of Constance Oyemechi. Now, the idea is also, yes, to a large extent, I needed you people to also, but for some of you here, you may have this talent for voiceover. Yes, it's for you to know, for a typical project, right, what it entails. Sometimes it's not just also the other things it entails. It also entails, the scripting, which I walk you through. It entails the scripting. It entails also voiceover. Many times it also entails voiceover. Then it now entails, graphics, and there's another thing that came to my mind. Yeah, interpretation of the yes, this one is very, 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 very key. Interpretation of the script. Now, this is what Constance submitted.
Things I love about Nigeria. One, I love the food. We have different kinds of food.
Now, this is like the how everything just continue, just
Two,
bringing picture and with this text. All of this whole process is like it reminded me of there's one local station in Nigeria that I don't mention any name because this is it just reminded me of a local station as different from when you're watching. Okay, I would have, if I know, I would have like sought for like some international stations. Where I think for if some of our stations now, like some of our stations, and there are some news stations, they're really paying attention to graphics and their motion graphics very tight because uh, Well, I don't. At the end of the day, as I said, I think to a large extent I have a fault because I didn't provide what I was expecting, how the things should look like. If this whole if right, you want to be a what was it called video, if the whole this course is about video editing, yes, then this would have passed. Okay, she edited. Yes, that's because for as an animator, we are many things. Oh. You are actor, you need to also know a little bit of acting, which when we go into when I wanted to like give you people a hint of to that, where when we start doing assuming the this whole project wouldn't just if one of the objective of the project is okay, once we do the training then we will start there's project on ground for us to do together, then we will have gone into that other phase where we start, interpreting maybe character animation and all of that. You realize that for you to interpret your character very well, you need some level of acting, know how acting works. So you're an actor, you're a graphic designer, you're also an editor, right? Because there's some level of editing here. But you now need to go beyond just being an editor. You need to, give the feel of, motion graphics. So this is something, though this is animation, I think this is animation composer going very well, but the graphics is lacking. The graphics is very, 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 very much lacking. So that was why I introduced us to something of this nature. Where is it? This is too loud. So this is why I brought this as a reference. So right now, you can see how things. Okay, let's say for Constance, right? When she said five things I like about Nigeria, right? Okay, let's say you might say here no natural disaster, right? Um, or let's say culture. So with that, right, you now need to keep your things short and simple. Short and simple. Your title short and simple, right? So you can see where is that at this? Okay, let's say for example now culture, right? It means we also there's some level of minimalism going here because you can see with Constance own right, we saw plenty things when she said culture or food. When she talked about food, we found plenty food. At least you could have just taken just one or two food that is very, very, very that's okay. Once you make mention of them, maybe like jollof rice or something, you know that okay, this Nigerian, this like it will easily give away that this is Nigerian. Or when we say culture, maybe you may find a traditional a particular masquerade or a particular dancer, just one or two, maybe one. If one can do that, then say culture, right? Then you can now do your sub, heading in all of this. Then you can use something like this for your numbering. So with this now, with all of this, right, to execute what I'm presenting to you now, you need a good amount of knowledge about how to create shapes in After Effects, which we've done before now. Even if you've not done it right, you can for you to execute what I'm telling you, you need to understand how shape layer. And you can see also many of you made this mistake, which I hammered on over and over and over. Where are the works? I want to quickly play an example, which I hammered.
Nigeria. There are so many things I love about my country, Nigeria, but yeah.
Okay, and yes, about like you can imagine for all of this, can you like? I would really like to us to make it just keep it short and simple. That's why at the time I said okay 1 minute, right? When I give the assignment, what I was expecting, okay, things I love about Nigeria, that would be the title page. For instance, how did they, I shouldn't be closing. For instance, the one I'm giving you now, the reference I gave you, you can like look for other reference online, which I think after now I actually try to do that. Um, you can see like this is a title page. This is how they you can see some other. They didn't just at the end of the day they didn't just just bring out the test and just write okay, five things I like about Nigeria. There are some other elements playing here to like support that this is like the title, right? So at the beginning, I'm expecting a title page. Five, just simple, keep it simple, short. Five things I love about Nigeria. You can see what I've. This is my. This is my voiceover. Five things I love about Nigeria. But in my text, you should just write five things. Oh, okay, I think I can just but it should be like a title, right? Five things I love about Nigeria. Then after that, just go to the number one, culture, right? Then you say as we have here, number one, you have culture. We have then just keep the explanation very short and simple. We have diverse culture, diversity in culture or something. Food, right? We have amala ewedu for the north, for the south, and all of this. For the north, we have this. For the south, we have this. Just short and simple. Obviously, you won't be needing this amount there, this figure here. Then number three, we are. I think someone said happy people. Then just show one person, person laughing. That is enough to like drive the point home. Then you can add. You can see some other elements here that's been added. So yes, why like one of the importance of doing this right is so that you will you will challenge yourself. Can you all still hear me, please? Can you all still hear me? Can you all still hear me? Okay. Yes, yes, okay. Yeah, because I could have just continued, do my demonstration and after the day make the video available and we still just continue. But I want so that within this period, right, you have like a reference of what I want you to do. You are putting your hand, you're actually putting to use, no matter how little it is, right? You are actually putting it to execute projects, right? And so much of if once you do this project and from now till Saturday, how much of involvement you get in it will determine when we finally see from Monday, next upper Monday to the Friday, to that particular Friday, will determine how much benefit you get from this. Because imagine if you just didn't you didn't even watch the video as much as you should and you didn't attempt to yes don't just watch the video but also put your hand try to do something now those that actually try to do something with no matter how um poor at the end of the day maybe not so fantastic the work is far better. It's far better than you not actually putting your hand. Because that with that, once I see your project, right, I'll be able to like give you critique. Okay, this is how to do this better. That's the conversation we should be having, and not so much of okay, this is the pencil. This is how to draw. This is how to draw shape in After Effects. No, right now, as of that Saturday, that's not what we should be. The conversation we should be having should be able to like go through your work. We also go back to the graphics work, right? Also go back and treat okay, what is making this one stand out? What is what you should have what should they have done to make these graphics speak better, to communicate better? Those are the conversation we should be having from Monday, the whole 1 week, from Monday to this thing. And not I will not be telling you uh what is it? The F9 is to do easy. There are some other things like there's some other more these things that we should be able to do, but it shouldn't be. as if we're just starting the class again from afresh. So you doing your assignment is very, 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 very key in how you will benefit from the physical class. So just wanted to say that. So with what I've said so far, do you have any reaction? Do you have any questions so that I can quickly take that and also try as much as possible to demonstrate? Do you have any question? If you have any question, you can request to ask any question. Can you all still hear me? Okay, okay. But do you have any question? In the absence, I'm okay. If that's the case, I just got a feedback. But if that's the case, I think that means there's no question, right? I should continue. So I should continue, right? Okay. In the absence of any question, I'll just continue. So far, this is what we've been able to do. And I introduced us to, remember, I introduced us to some level of transition that's doing some transitional elements. And how did I achieve this transition here? Remember, this once you understand this concept of track math, right, is very, very, very powerful. It's something that you always use. Remember, for our track math, the first time we used it was when we needed to divide this square, this square rectangle rather, this rectangle, when we needed to divide it into like two equal half at the edge here, right? And I said, okay, we divided it by duplicating getting another rectangle that we also scale up. As it's also scaling up, it's cutting away this one. So that's where we use it. We also use the track math here. All of this happening here. We find track math also happening here. But another way to also use track math is to use it to transit our whole scene. It's easy to transit our whole scene, which we find here, which is coming in, right? It is coming in this way. Again and again. All I did was this was Control Y. I created it. This is once you hit Control Y, you create a a solid, and with this solid, I was able to do what? Bring in. I was able to hit my what was it called? My rectangle tool. And with my rectangle tool, that's what I used to draw all of this. Then later I went into this, and once I hit M, it brings all the mask property, and I animated the path. There's what is called. You can go into each of these masks. There's a path, so that's what I animated. You can get the last video. So with that now, we've now been able to achieve down to here. So quickly playing this now, should be able to see, should be able to use this as a guide for the next. So I find this object here at the left, scaling up. So there's some level of rotation and scale happening here. You can see, and it's easy, right? Then this text comes in. Then all this text comes in, and yes, I was about saying there was this. You can see that there is an element that they are using to make the text sit, so that it wouldn't. Because imagine they didn't use this what I normally call banner. where this chicken pasta is sitting, it will start clashing with other elements that you find in the scene. And for many of you, I found that that was like a an error, like a mistake that many of you did, and I spoke, which I talked about over and over. The power in using things like this, like a banner like this, or using overlay that's make your this thing darker a little bit small. Using an overlay creates a solid and make the fade the opacity. But that didn't. Some of you didn't implement that. So to quickly just go about that, to quickly just animate this. But right now, remember the animation composer that I spoke to you about, that I introduced us to the last time. That's what I feel like using here instead of using that their scale, and that's what I feel like using here. So so I want to pay attention to this chicken. That once it comes, yes. So I want to make use of the animation composer to introduce this, and also I will use animation composer for this text, which in your assignment I just given you now, I would actually expect you to do that. Use animation composer. It gives, because at the end of the day, what we just need is some level of dynamism, like the energy. Okay, that's some level of energy happening with the text, right? Giving it life, and this animation composer does a very fantastic work with that. So with that here, I have my animation composer pulled out. For some of you that didn't get it the last time, hopefully now you may. So this is my animation. If you don't have this, right, the way to locate this is to come to your Windows animation composer, hit this animation composer, then to come out. Yeah. So with this now, there are, as I said, there are four options there, but the one we need to go into is the transition preset. Transition preset, that's the first one. Once I hit it, it will bring this preview, to bring this preview grid. Again, if you don't have this preview grid open, the way to locate it is just to come to window, you have animation composer preview grid, you have it checked. So with this, you have plenty of options here. And I think the one I'm very comfortable with is this one that you know what, I will have it slide in. Though with our what's it called reference, it's scaled in, but I'll have it sliding from left to right this time around. And there is animation composer gives us a very good preset for that. But mind you, there's a trick to not make it very chaotic, make it very mild. And this is the particular one here. This is position and rotation. And I want it to come from the left, so I'm choosing the left one here. And I click apply. Then it takes some time to calculate. So I can afford to collapse this momentarily for now. Now, if you have two screens, you don't have to be doing all of this. So with that now, let me zoom in. With that now, if I play this, you see it slides in from the left. So it slides in from the left. So again, I can go to this. There are text presets. Still in this transition in what's the name of the preset again now? Still in this place. Transition presets. Still in this transition presets. If you scroll down, once you scroll down, you will see some text presets that you can use. Many times I like to use this as my title. I usually use this for my title, this particular one here. Or the one that behaves like it. Many times I think there's other ones. There's even this one. This one behaves like it. Nice, and I say apply. So with that now, you can now collapse this once this happens. So with that now, once I play, you see how the grilled chicken. See, it's amazing. In the same way, okay, um, okay. Let me give all of them some level of movement first off. Then later, you one now also need to pay attention to timing, right? We also now need to pay. Okay, when should this come in? When should this come in? When should okay? Let me even play. Let me play the reference. Pay attention. I think for some of you, you got your timing correct, but for some, the timing was just off. Now, for timing, there's what is called eye movement. So at each point in time, you need to ask yourself, for what is the first thing I need my audience to see? Then immediately after that, what's the next thing? Where should their eyes go, and what other things should their eyes go? So things would go for okay. Let's say for instance, a very good one is this at this beginning. They want us to look at the center where because why at the center? Because at the center is where the text we later come in, right? Though right now this is just providing aesthetic value, but also eye movement. It's calling our attention. Oh, look at the middle. Yes, there are some other things going on at the background. I think the background is good. Yes, the background is going up, but that is not our central focus. Our center of focus is at the middle. So it scales up here, then divide. So as it's dividing, that's when this one is coming in. That's when that's when this other the next item it wants us to look at is coming in. So with that, so it also took a very just just when this is about to set, that's when this one too at the beginning, the one at the bottom started coming in. So then here we find the very first thing they want us to look is at the meal itself, the plate, the food in the this thing, right? And that was why this one started here. You can see this one the first thing. Then immediately this one scales in almost immediately, like when it's scaled in, like almost immediately. That's when chicken comes in. So see the progression, chicken pasta, right? Comes in, chicken and pasta comes in. Then a hand braided crispy, that's the details comes in. Then the price comes in. So you can see the progression, how things it started from the plates of food itself, then we went to the naming, the title, the major title, chicken pasta, then the details, then the price. So in every time you need to ask yourself, okay, what's the most important? Okay, what should come in first? For instance, I think I like the chicken coming in first. Or I can actually reverse. I can actually say, okay, maybe I may need to reverse it a little bit. Maybe it should come. But the bottom line is that no, there should be progression in when things come in. There should be progression, and that progression should communicate the kind of story. What is it you are okay? Like now you're trying to tell us chicken, right? So should the title come in first before the either way? But however, the what will be what was it called? Chaotic is that let's say we now have these three things coming in at the same time. Let's say we have this chicken coming in, the detail is coming in, this one is coming in, or coming in at the same time. No, that's not. It should be progressive. That's one. Also, it wouldn't make sense if we now have this detail or price to have come in grilled chicken before grilled chicken comes in, right? It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any logical sense. But however, the one that can be subject to debate is that okay, should grilled chicken come immediately grilled chicken comes in, or immediately it's coming in fully, then this one comes in the picture for the chicken. That in that you can change that a little bit, you can play with that a little bit, but you cannot play with the idea of maybe 4K starts, then this one comes, then this one. And which, funny as it may, some of you made that mistake during when you did your assignment. So is that understood? What I just explained, do you people understand what I just explained? That's the hierarchy in terms of visual, in terms of is introducing your elements. Is that understood? Do you understand what I just explained? Hello. Hope I'm not the only one here. Okay. What is not too clear? Tijani. Tijani said they're not too clear. Is it because of network or what? Okay, please. I really like your feedback. Oh. We have 17 people here. Only I think three people have answered. Okay. Yes, I know. For some people, to be honest with you, the idea of keyframing, right? For some people, they get it like it's spam. They get it. Me, did I get my? I can't remember which of. For me personally, I can't remember which of the. But when I started teaching people, other people, I realized how for some people it takes a while. And if you're in that, just be patient with yourself. Try to do it. If it's not working, try. And as you're trying, look up some other video like introduction. You can type okay keyframe in After Effects or how to add keyframes in After Effects. Just Google this. Just go to YouTube, right? Because this kind of thing, for this for you to have made mention of this yonder, right? It should make sense for we to be physically present. Then, if not, then take advantage of because there's even if I start want to explain that now, there are good materials on YouTube already that they've done so much. They've done far better than I can ever do in trying to explain this thing to you. So please take advantage of that. Yeah, I asked Tijani, what is it that is not clear? What exactly? Where is it? Because I was explaining the power of having things happen progressively. They shouldn't just happen at once. And once they happen happening progressively, you also need to. That comes the idea of hierarchy also comes. For instance, this grilled chicken is of optimal is the first thing in order of hierarchy is the top, then the middle, then the price. So they should also come in that order. So with this, we've been able to use the animation composer. So even with these two, I think I can use the animation composer for this. Okay. Yonder. Okay, I think I can help with that. Okay. Thinking of using animation composer here to scale this. So this should scale. Like mind you, right now, to a large extent, I'm not so much I just want to give all the elements some energy, some animate in. They should animate in. Now I'm not so much paying attention to the timing. Once I'm done with that, I'll start paying attention to the timing in terms of when does this come in, when does this come in. But right now, once I have this selected, I'll open my animation composer. Make sure my animation composer is opened. Yes, I need to scroll up. Now I think I need it to scale from this button up here. So with that, I think I like. Uh, yeah, I think I like this one because why am I not? I almost chose this particular one, but this one I think is a little bit too energetic in the kind of so far the energy, the story that this has been giving. It's just a little bit, not so much, not plenty thing happening. It's a bit mild. The animation is just coming slow in, slow. So if that's the case, think where is it? Yes, I think this one works better. This particular one works better. So yes, I clicked on it, then I clicked apply. You know what? Let me do Control Z. For some of you, this may you may still need some. Yes, once I have it selected, so I've clicked on my animation composer. So I need to click. Once I click this, it gives me this option. I click apply. So it applies the effects. Oh, I thought I have my system logged. Yeah. So it applies that. So with this now, you have this. Yeah. So obviously, the banner is coming late, as you can see. It needs to come, but right now I'm not paying attention to that first. Let me quickly, give energy to all these other elements, like this one. Right now it's just cutting in. It just comes in abruptly. So I will need to come here. Yes, remember as I said, for the title, there's usually this feel. Like I think I usually like to use this, yes, this particular scale in and all that. But for this one, there's usually another method for because it's in sentence. There are ones that if you look at our preset, there are ones that are in like sentence. These things are in sentence, as you can see. But I don't think this is the one I normally. I'm looking for. I'm looking for. There's this particular one I know I like to use, but either of them works. So either of them works. But many times you now need to ask yourself: Is this the kind of story you are trying to tell? Some may be too, because once you are doing once you are presenting things, right? Is because this to a large extent it has this corporate feel and not just playful. It's not very playful. Rather, it has it's presentational than it being playful. So you now need to mind the kind of how things animate in. So I think this should be good enough. This particular one should be good enough. So you need to collapse this. Then I think I might need to just stop here. Yeah. But so far with these examples I've shown so far, right? I think I will just pay attention to the timing and stop so that the class won't be that too long. Oh, Bello Fumilayo is saying you can't he or she can't hear me. Please, can you all hear? Can you all hear and see what I'm doing? Please, I need a feedback quickly, quickly, quickly. Please, a quick feedback. Can you all? Oh, okay. So I think it's Bellows. Yes, thank you. I think it's Bellows internet. So with this now, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like this particular. It's just I don't like it. It's not looking. It's looking too playful. So the way to remove it, right? Once I have it selected, it's not just for me to come here and delete it because I have some control here. Rather, I come here. Once again, I think we treated this the last time. Yes, once I have it selected. I come here, I come to because right now I'm in preview grid. I need to be on animation composer. So once I'm in animation composer, I can come here and click remove. So he asks me what do I want to remove? I want to remove everything that has to do with animation composer. So I remove transition all. So with that, since it's still selected, I can click here and come back to my preview grid. I'm thinking of using that same one I used for the. Okay. Yes, yes, this is what I was looking for. This one. This overshoot scale character one. Overshoot scale character one. So with this now, you should be able to have this. Yes, I like this better. This works better. So with this now, I will just, I could have gone ahead to name, animate all these other elements, but with for the sake of time, I will just, and even this one, yes, even this should, scale from, should just scale in. It shouldn't be inside already. So, but I will go ahead to pay attention to time. So the question now is that what should come in first? Okay, I think my chicken should come in, understand first. My chicken should come in first. If that's the case, I need it. I need to have it selected and make sure. Yes. So at the beginning, it should be somewhere here. So it's animating in first. Then chicken. That's the chicken text also comes in. Where is it? So you can see it's already out here, but I don't want that. It should be here. So it should be here. So it animates in. Then immediately after, not no 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 no. Before grilled chicken comes in, right? I will need the banner to be there already. I think yeah, that's better. I need the banner to be in there. So I need to push this back. So immediately after my banner has scaled in, something about this grilled chicken should start coming. This grilled chicken should start coming, yes. Then once it's almost, not like completely done, once it says, let's say somewhere here, then the what was it called? The details, which I just added the animation composer, should also start coming in somewhere here, right? So we have this. So mind you, all of this, right? Yes, there's a rule in motion graphics because it is motion graphics or animation, right? None of your elements should be static. That's an offense, like which I saw, like for some of you doing your this thing, like as we were just talking, like for a long while, we were explaining, all your elements was just that is a crime, as in anyone that does that in the animation world should be jailed. Like it's as serious as that. So these elements just sitting here shouldn't be right. I will expect you in your own to animate that and also you know okay I've animated then also some of these other elements and this like this other the chicken text that is used as a design element. So this big chicken text you can see at the least it should move this way, right? And the way to achieve that is that you make sure, let's say at the beginning, is somewhere here. Make sure is just moving just slightly bit, not so much fast. So I can come here and hit the keyframe, record this particular position that it is. Then I will ask myself, how long is this thing lasting? How long is this scene lasting? Let's say it shouldn't be like this scene. Okay, let's say you have your grilled chicken, properly grilled with pepper dinner, something, something, something. So something about this time. I'm home. I'm done reading all this whole thing. Something about now before you remove any scene, right, and you have a text, make sure, right, while you would have finished reading, imagine you being not you as a designer, but the you now. You now need to imagine yourself being the audience. Will the person have finished reading this thing before I take it out? In my own estimate, right, after reading grilled chicken, properly grilled chicken with pepper flavor, salad, vegetable, and tomato, we promise you must lick your fingers. 4K. With my estimation, this is around about 6 second, thereabout, or 5, thereabout. That is where you can now remove this thing. So knowing fully well that this is the end of this, then it now makes sense for me to take my timeline indicator forward a bit and still move this chicken. I'm holding shift and forward arrow, move it to somewhere here. So what will now happen is that all through this scene, the chicken moving is moving just a little. The chicken text is moving just a little. Let's say you did your this thing animation and you now found out that okay, it's moving too fast, and maybe your own is moving too faster than it should. Then all you need to, or if you feel this my movement is even still too fast, all you need to do is to drag this the last keyframe in time, drag it forward in time. Then what will now happen is that the chicken, whatever, the chicken. Yeah, so if by any chance while doing your RAM preview, you do your playback, you find it's too, I think I like the way it's moving now. But if you find it's too slow or too 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 slow or too fast, all you need to do is to adjust this. If you find it's too slow, you need to bring this forward in time, bring it back. If you find it's too fast, you need to take this forward. Okay. Yes, so yeah, I think with this, right? I won't go ahead to like animate some others, but this gives you a feel, right, of what to of how all your scenes should, and this is also what I'm expecting from your what's it called, this other assignment now, your what I love about Nigeria too. What the assignment now is what I love about Nigeria. Five things I love about Nigeria too. Keep it short and simple. Have a title, what it is, maybe culture, tradition. Then keep your explanation very short. It shouldn't be like more than one, two, three lines. It shouldn't be. Yeah. Keep it short and simple. Then yeah, so I should be expecting some, some transition elements. Though this was the transition element they used here. Remember, I did something like this. But there's another, let me quickly run you through one other transition element you can employ. Is by creating shape. Remember, if some of you haven't practiced before now in creating shape, the way to create a shape is to come to your rectangle, these two here. Rectangle 2 was the last two I selected, so that's why it's having rectangle 2 here. But once you click here, you click on it, you right click on it, wait a bit, it will bring these other options. And I want to create the ellipse 2. I want to use the ellipse 2. So with this, I can draw, I'll make sure Control Shift A. Control Shift A, make sure nothing is selected. By Control Shift A, I'm saying nothing is selected, so I can, and I'm holding R, Control, Alt, and Shift while I'm drawing this, so it maintains proportion. Now, if by any chance you see this happening, right, it means you've hit your cap lock, right? When I was trying to hit Shift, I mistakenly hit my cap lock. So all I need to do is to come back here and hit the cap lock and for it to remove. So I come here, I make sure, I can use my align. Just for the sake of time, I should have used my align. Make sure it's at the center. So now, just follow me. Later, you understand what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do. Just pay attention to this circle that I just created. Let's name it circle underscore 1 that I just created. At the beginning, make sure the scale is at 0. The scale level is at 0 at the beginning. Then hit. Oh, I will need to switch on. Please, I will need to quickly switch on my generator. Please just wait for me. Let me quickly switch on the generator. I think my battery is running low. Or you know what? Okay. You know what? I will make this video, the ending part of this video, this particular, what's it called? This particular transition element. Can you all hear me? Please quickly give me a feedback if you can all hear me, because we actually yes, okay, thank you. Thank God that you all can hear me. Okay, what I will do now? This demonstration, I will continue to record the video and make it available, right? The ending part, how to add some additional transitional elements, you understand, to give you some flexibility. There are plenty of other transitional elements. You can, search for transitional elements. Okay, my this thing is back. My electricity is back. You can search for transitional elements. Please just give me a sec. Let me switch off my alarm system. I'm coming. Let me switch that off. I'm coming. So, can you all still hear me? Can you? Hello? Are you still there with me? Let's wait. Okay, okay. So you can search from other. There are plenty of other transitional elements. They usually have this field. They usually give you all this thing, so that it won't just be cut and fades in that you are using alone. No, it gives this professional look to your work. So I will go ahead to do that. These are like just sample. There are plenty of others you can search online. Okay. Thank you. I'm about to end the class now.